Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sam, and today for St. Patrick's Day, we'll be taking a trip down to Patty's Pub. That's right, always sunny in Philadelphia. Today we'll be recreating Charlie's famous milk steak. However, we're not going to just boil a steak in milk. We're going to make it a little more complicated and hopefully make it a lot better. So, let's get to it. We're going to start by taking 3 extra large cloves of garlic and peeling them and mincing them finely. Once the garlic's minced, you're going to scrape it off into a Tupperware that you've set aside to marinate your steak in. Now we're going to add 1 tablespoon of pepper, 1 tablespoon of thyme, 1 tablespoon of tarragon, and half a teaspoon of rosemary. And then salt to taste. Once all your spices are added, you're going to add in 12 ounces of buttermilk. And stir that up nicely. Once everything's well combined, we're going to take a pound of boneless New York strip steak and place it in the marinade. You're going to want to swirl it around and flip it a couple times to make sure that it's well covered. Then put it in the fridge to marinate for 8 hours, flipping it halfway through. After the 8 hours is up, you're going to take the steak out of the marinade and pat it dry. A wet steak won't sear. Add about 2 tablespoons of butter to a nice hot steel pan and gently place your steak in there. That sizzle is a nice sign that the pan is nice and hot. And look at that beautiful color. Add another tablespoon of butter to sear the other side of the steak. Then we're going to take the steak and put it in the oven at 350 for about 15 minutes. While that's cooking, we're going to make a buttermilk gravy. We're going to start by cutting 4 pieces of bacon in half and frying it up until extra crispy. Once the bacon's done, you're going to use the leftover grease and add a spoonful of flour to it to create a roux. Once there are no lumps and it's cooked down like this, we're going to add our buttermilk marinade to it. Slowly pour that in, and then stir it up. Let it simmer for a few minutes to thicken. Afterwards, it should look like this, and then we're going to add our chopped up bacon pieces to it. I like my gravy really thick. However, if you don't like it as thick, just cook it for less time. Ooh, and look at that, our steak is done, right on time. And there you have it. We have a nice buttermilk marinated steak with a bacon and buttermilk gravy. It may not be the meal that Charlie imagined, but it certainly is delicious. And you might say, well, what about the side of raw jelly beans? Don't worry, I didn't forget about that. Right here we have some Starburst jelly beans, and we're going to be making cocktails. So you're going to take about a cup of those jelly beans and put them into a Tupperware container. And then we're going to be taking some vodka. Here I have a raspberry and pomegranate sorbet, and we're going to be adding just enough vodka to cover the jelly beans. Cover them up and stick them in the fridge for an hour to soak. This is what it'll look like when it's done. Split that between 2 martini glasses. And then top off with an equal amount of lemon liqueur. And finally, add about a shot of a cranberry raspberry juice of your choosing. cut a slice of lemon for each drink, and wipe it around the edge to give you a little sour finish. And there is our side of raw jelly beans. You'll never find this in Patty's Pub, but hey, at least it's worth drinking. Well, that's all I've got for you this week. Comment down below other things you'd like to see me try and recreate. Otherwise, join me next week for more shenanigans.